All right, this is the read aloud for the Unit 4 test of the Renaissance and Reformation. If you need to, go ahead and rewind at any time to rehear any question or any of the choices again. Here we go. Question 1. What was one immediate effect of the fall of the Roman Empire on Europe? A. The rise of more centralized political institutions. B. A decline in the influence of the Catholic Church. C. A decrease in trade among major port cities. D. The expansion of barbarian Germanic tribal kingdoms. Number 2. If you were considered a patron of art, what did you do? A. You painted paintings for people. B. You helped fund a variety of artists. C. You built buildings for the city you lived in. D. You were an interior decorator. Three. Which of the following statements is best supported by the map titled The Spread of Protestantism? A. From Geneva, Anglicanism spread to England. B. Protestantism did not spread into Rome or the Papal States. C. Norway, Denmark, and Sweden remained Catholic. D. Scotland, England, and Ireland shared the same faith. Number 4. What conclusions about the effects of the plague can be drawn from the listed information? Effects of the Black Death. Europe lost a third of its population. Labor shortages brought higher wages for many workers. Peasants left their manors, weakening the feudal system. A. Catastrophic events can trigger changes in human institutions. B. Tragic events strengthen religion as people seek answers in faith. C. People seek comfort in traditions in the wake of tragic events. D. Societies flourish during many types of disasters and epidemics. Number 5. During the European Middle Ages, what were guilds created to do? A. Obtain better working conditions in factories. B. Standardize the prices and quality of goods. C. To regulate the flow and supply of money. D. To increase the competition of merchants. Use the chart below to answer the question. The Roman Empire falls. The Byzantine Empire preserves Greek texts. Blank. The Renaissance begins in Europe. What would best complete the chart above? A. Russian merchants carried Greek and Roman texts to East Asia. B. Indian scholars established schools to study Greek and Roman texts. C. Europeans rediscover Greek and Roman texts in the Islamic world. D. The Catholic Church bans the publication of Greek and Roman texts. Seven. Reformers. One way Martin Luther, John Calvin, and Henry VIII were similar is that they were all A. Latin American revolutionary leaders, B. Reformation leaders, C. Impressionist painters, D. Divine right monarchs. 8. Which statement best describes a characteristic of the Renaissance in Europe? A. The social structure became very rigid. B. Creativity in the arts was encouraged. C. The political structure was similar to that of the Roman Empire. D. Humanism decreased in importance. 9. No free man is to be taken or imprisoned or outlawed or exiled or in any way ruined, nor will we go against such a man or send against him save by lawful judgment of his peers or by the law of the land. To no one will we sell or deny or delay right or justice. Magna Carta. Which concept was established by the rights in the document above? A. Innocent until proven guilty. B. The right to representation. C. Trial by jury. D. Plea bargaining. Number 10. Which of the following statements best describes the importance of Italian city-states to the Renaissance? A. Knowledge of arts increased as nobles and merchants sought to display their new wealth. B. The Catholic Church, dominant in the city-states, published the first Bible. C. Italian shipbuilders bought paintings and sculpture back from China and India. D. Agricultural centers, city-states produced an abundance of crops and sold them to foreign markets. Characteristics of the Renaissance. Cultural achievements were financed by cities. Classical texts and art were valued and studied. Which statement would best complete the list above? A. Kings gave authority to religious leaders. B. People chose to enter monasteries. C. Legislative bodies began to tax churches. D. People embraced humanist ideas. A major reason that the Renaissance began in Italy was that A. Italian city-states had grown wealthy from trade between Europe and Asia. B. Farmers produced great agricultural surpluses on vast plains. C. Merchants supported the Green Revolution. D. Many European scholars had migrated to this area. (13) Which statement about the 95 Theses is false? A. The 95 Theses is largely concerned with the sale of indulgences. B. The 95 Theses question the Pope's motives. C. The 95 Theses were widely distributed thanks to the printing press. D. The 95 Theses were originally written in German. Number 14. What did the manorial system and the agricultural revolution both help to create in the late Middle Ages? A. A power shift from the secular to the church. B. More food and a population boom in Europe. C. Knights, ninjas, and sheriffs to rule together. D. Guilds to regulate the goods and prices in markets. 15. How were the works of Leonardo da Vinci an example of the importance of the Renaissance? A. Patrons became less influential. B. Subject became more secular. C. The colors chosen were more vibrant. D. Perspective was emphasized. 16. What was one factor that enabled the Renaissance to flourish in Italy? A. Patrons that invested in the arts. B. A socialist form of government. C. Limited contact with the Byzantine Empire. D. A shrinking middle class. 17. They preach no Christian doctrine who teach that contrition is not necessary in those who intend to buy souls out of purgatory or to buy confessionalia. Every true repentant Christian has a right to full remission of penalty and guilt, even without letters of pardon. Every true Christian, whether living or dead, has part in all blessings of Christ and the Church, and this is granted him by God, even without letters of pardon. 95 Theses, Martin Luther, 1517. Which statement best explains an immediate effect of these declarations? A. The Catholic Church granted more authority to its leaders. B. People began to redefine the doctrines of Christianity. C. The Catholic Church gained influence among absolute monarchs. D. Priests began to spread Christianity using common languages. (18) How did the new ideas and scientific advances of the Renaissance challenge the Catholic Church? A. New Renaissance universities, which emphasized scientific research, gave most citizens educational opportunities that challenged the religious institutions. B. Individualism and humanist ideas from the Renaissance challenged citizens to seek answers for themselves rather than religious institutions. C. New merchant guilds formed by the middle class owed allegiance to the leaders of the Renaissance rather than the Catholic Church. D. Feudal noble landowners accepted the scientific advances of the Renaissance that were supported by the Catholic Church. 19. How did the printing revolution and Johann Gutenberg's invention contribute to the increased global interaction? A. By making text available to broader audiences, leading to the spread of new ideas. B. By creating interchangeable parts that made repairing the printing press easier. C. By mass producing the press to make it available only to small towns in Europe. D. By using color to gain the interest of the common people to get them to learn. 20. What was the original purpose of Martin Luther's action shown in the picture above? A. Luther was attempting to change the Catholic Church's doctrine based on his own selfish interpretations of the Bible. B. Luther was declaring that the Pope Leo X was Antichrist and declaring that all church leaders name him Pope instead. C. Luther was declaring his problems with the Catholic Church and announcing that he was leaving to create his own Protestant church. D. Luther was announcing that he was going to leave Christianity and the Catholic Church altogether because he was disgusted with it. This now concludes the reading of the multiple choice part of the Unit 4 test, Renaissance and Reformation. You can now go back and rehear any of the questions above. If you are completed, you may now submit your test and get the constructor responses from Ms. Perkins.